click the links to join the channel here on YouTube while you can, or over on Subscribestar and then the Odyssey and the BitChute. So a lot of things are going on at Twitter. It's been a very spicy, I don't know, a few weeks since he kind of stepped in there, and like the left and the right was overreacting to everything, and I remember the Quartering saying, he was listening to his Odyssey video, and he's like, you got to give this guy a few months to settle this out. Like the right wing, the cat turd was losing his mind over, they thought like Elon was controlled by this Yuri Roth guy who was kind of like the political commissar. And what happened was like, 2 weeks later, he left, Yuri Roth left for whatever reason. Oh, so it's like it just took time to hand the company over. And people go, oh, okay, well, the next thing is we have to get outraged over is Greenblatt at the ADL is secretly controlling Musk because they're using the same language, freedom of reach and not freedom of speech type of stuff, talking about how the algorithm's going to work. And I will say, like, if you looked into what Elon was talking about, he was talking about applying algorithms to specific tweets, not to the user themselves. So if you have a tweet that's nothing but vulgarities, like it doesn't bring any political discourse to the table whatsoever, it's just vulgarities, and that's going to have a limited, it'll be beneath the see more replies on, if you're not familiar with Twitter. Most people look at that and go, okay, that's probably reasonable because what they were doing before, or at least a step in the right direction, was they were shadow banning entire accounts. And that has changed because now accounts are growing again, or, the right wing accounts. But the right wing was looking at that and they were getting so outraged at Twitter. They go, oh, because the ADL is controlling Musk. And then 3 weeks later, Musk is starting to give Greenblatt, he's starting to give him a little crap in the comments. He's joking around with them a little bit. He's got this tweet. He goes, "Stop defaming me, lol." That says more than what, like, if you don't like understand the culture war, it says a lot because usually people were kowtowing to these groups. And so it means more when he's saying that. It's like, yeah, that happened in 3 weeks. You got to give Musk. And what happened was, like, Greenblatt will put out a tweet. He'll get 3,000 likes on it. And Musk will make fun of him in the comments. And he'll get 500,000 likes. So it's showing Greenblatt that his ideas aren't that popular. It's tweaking him a little bit. And it's sending a message to everyone that the rules have changed on Twitter. And again, it's like, can you give everyone, both sides, you got to give the guy 3 months. Like, accounts are, the rules, it's not like it's turning into Gab or 4chan. It's just that the rules are applying more equally to everyone. So the stuff with the underage stuff, like those accounts are getting nuked. And then the Antifa accounts that were advocating Malum and Say events, those accounts are getting nuked. Oh, well, yeah, but those are actually advocating illegal activity. It's like, why were they on Twitter for so long? Which is a good question, right? Anyway, so accounts are getting, the rules are applied equally, and accounts are getting nuked if they violate the law. And then everyone else is going to be allowed back on. And again, there's a thing going on with Alex Jones. You don't know about that. I mean, he's got a personal issue with that. But again, it's like, give the guy a few months to figure it out. Like, accounts are starting to come back this week. So all those banned accounts, it's like, you got to give it some time to let it settle out. That'll be interesting because most people will have a dozen accounts. So what do you, a dozen accounts, a dozen different emails, or burner phone numbers, you just pick the one with the biggest numbers. And I don't know. And then the next thing is pointed out is, like we've all said before, it's Google and Apple are the gatekeepers for the App Store. If they don't want if you don't obey those political commissars, and the obvious answer to all this is, so how hard is it to build a cell phone, a tablet, and a Chromebook type of thing, and build an operating system for all three of those things? Oh, it's actually not that hard, especially someone who's got a history. Elon Musk could never do that. Are you sure about that? Because he seems to have a familiarity with tech. And no, I don't think he's going to sit down with and build it himself. Or write the code for a software, but it's like he's just gonna set up a division to do that. It's probably been in the works for a long time to say, why don't we take the operating systems that are around for phones now and get rid of the bloatware, make them privacy focused, make them leaner, meaner machines. It's like all the tech is already out there. You're not building something from the ground up. You're taking the best of cell phone architecture and getting rid of the worst of it. So your phone is not coming bundled with all that stupid bloatware that you can't get rid of unless you root the phone. Most people don't want to do that. Look at the phone like, I just don't want any of that stuff. Just give me, the phone, privacy-based phone, app store, and the basic utilities. And then you can download the rest. If you want the NFL garbage or Candy Crush. It's like, yeah, why does that come installed on the phone? Some stuff you can delete and some stuff you can't delete. I don't want any of it. Like if he markets a phone as a privacy-based phone and a free speech app store, that's going to be, yeah, that'll blow the tits off of, oh, it couldn't possibly compete with Apple and Google. Really? Because they started up at one time. Oh, but they've got 20 years experience. Yeah, but they started up at one time and they came to like the first iPhone, the first Android, whatever. They came to market with a pretty decent product. It's like you really don't think that Elon Musk and Tesla can come up with a Tesla phone that won't be pretty kick-ass? Like think of the marketing advantage he has. It's a privacy-based phone, a free speech app store, and without the bloatware. That's an entirely different direction, not just for tech, but for the country itself. It's like the phone's going to obviously be incorporated with Starlink and with his cars. I mean, you could like I'm not even a tech person. I look at all this. I look at this window that's out there, and people are looking at this. And they see like, oh, there's just room to run with this. Like people are absolutely on board with it. Oh, well, the left wing's not going to, there's enough people who want, and the thing is, even there are left wing people who are very privacy minded. Like they don't want a phone that the government can access anytime. They don't want apps spying on them. They want phones with better permission structures. People, even left wing people will look at it like, listen, if this is truly a privacy based phone without bloatware, you have to buy it because you want something that has the best encryption on earth. And even left-wing people will look at that and go, yeah, we value that. It's not like, why would you trust the government so much? Oh, be careful. It is so challenging not to say, it's just not to, I don't know how people make these YouTube videos because they get paid a lot of money for their videos. That's how they're able to like stay within the navigational guidelines. Anyway, so when Apple, when he comes out with an Apple Google competitor, the Tesla Phone X. Oh, and then the next thing is he's going to have I sound like a fanboy. I know how stupid it sounds. I don't know the first thing about Elon Musk. Literally do not know the first thing about Tesla and Elon Musk. But everyone around me has one of those cars. I'm totally cool with the family station wagon because it's like you can go up to Tahoe if you want on a tank of gas and still get 20 miles plus to the gallon. It's like I'm cool with with those kind of things. I don't need a $100,000 Tesla even if I could afford one. The idea of that doesn't appeal to me at all. I'd rather go get a hybrid, I know the Dodge has got a hybrid minivan, which I look at like that is really cool. Anyway, you don't want an electric car in California when like the power, so what happens to the power grid if like you're in California? Oh, well, we're going to do away with the power grids and electric cars and you're going to take public transportation. Like, that was the goal all along, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a goal all along. Oh, so what was the next thing? Not the operating system, Tesla, YouTube, the YouTube competitor. So Twitter, and the other thing he's doing is the YouTube competitor, what is YouTube? Long form video hosting, live streaming, and monetization. That's like she's talking about like Xing, right? Xing's a tiny company. They do that for $10,000 a month. That's how low the price has come. And people look at Twitter and he talks about the Twitter X. It's going to be something like all incorporated social media space. People look at it and go, oh, he couldn't possibly do that. And you're like, dude, you don't understand how cheap it is. It's like he doesn't need if he wanted to buy Odyssey, he could do that. But Odyssey has all those things and it uses the library token, the crypto coin. And it's also monetized with Stripe, I think, which is monetized tied into your bank account. He could literally just buy Odyssey. It's like probably a $1 billion or $2 billion company, or he could build his own Odyssey separate from YouTube or within the YouTube architecture. I don't know, but it's like none of the if Xing can do it for $10,000 a month, none of these things are insurmountable hurdles. And you look at the desire, like, is there an audience that has a desire for this product? Yes, absolutely. And no, you don't have to be a Musk fanboy to go, oh, I want all these things he's selling. I'm tired of bloatware. I'm tired of like being controlled by Google and Apple. Yes, there's absolutely a big enough group of people who go, oh, okay, so a cell phone tied into your car, tied into Starlink, it's like you see the power of this. And also a guy who's a little bit more free speech, who's not just a corporate. Like this is why Trump was so exciting in 2016. Because you knew he wasn't a politician. He wasn't talking like some standard political a-hole. He's an a-hole, don't get me wrong, but he's an a-hole of a different stripe. And it's like if you look at a room full of politicians and you look at like a guy who's not a politician, I'd be like, oh, go with the guy who's not a politician. Absolutely. Even if he's not absolutely perfect in every way. It's like he's not a politician. Anyway, that screen dimming, it means I'm down to 10 minutes. Like, comment, subscribe, join the subscribe star for $2 a month, or the other platforms. So they are free speech platforms. It's like, oh, I'm going to be offended. It's like, but you could just not be offended. Like, or you could say what you want. What happened to that open marketplace of ideas? Apparently that terrifies people on Twitter. Like it's the your face when you discover like the left wing doesn't support free speech anymore. Though, you know, that all kind of shifted in the past 30 years, maybe even a little bit longer. It's sad to say. That's not a surprise when, you know, like there's a percentage of the left does not favor free speech. You have marketplace of ideas, like all those great Supreme Court decisions, or even the philosophy of the founding fathers, and the philosophy that they were reading up on the concept of liberty and that open marketplace and sunlight. But then you look at the right wing, the neocons or the normie cons, whatever you want to call them. It's like Khan is right. Yeah, it's like yes, it's wings of the same bird. Oh, yeah, you're just insulting the left, buddy. We say all the same about the right. It's like, well, what are you? I don't know, but it's something different. Like somebody who values free speech. Oh, the Nazis valued free speech. Really? That's the binary. That's the binary hill you want to defend. Like the people who don't want to hurt kids, people who are not like. I mean, like I don't think the left wing's gonna be able to save itself. Like they are so tied to that anchor of the kids stuff and the QT stuff. Like they are just gonna go overboard with that anchor. And if I was on the left, I would be cutting ties to that 10% of the far left as fast as I possibly could. But again, I know they're not listening to this. So yeah, we value free speech. I'm not on the right or left. I listen to Bryson Gray a little bit now. I see him around. Bryson Gray, Nick Fuentes, and Kanye will be interesting. Oh, you guys are all Hugo Boss, including Bryson Gray and Kanye. No, I'm not calling him Ye. You guys are all Hugo Boss. Really? Fuentes, Bryson Gray, and Kanye are all Hugo Boss. The free speech party. You might be offended, but you're going to have free speech. It's going to be interesting times. Anyway, click the links to join the subscribe star. The thing about shilling is you pretty much have to shill. If you don't if you mention Cash App, you'll get a I will mention Cash App, and I'll probably get a Cash App for mentioning Cash App. That's just how the psychology of it works. I probably should have mentioned at the beginning of the video where people were listening. But that's kind of how it works. More so on Odyssey and BitChute, because there are no ads over there. Like people know they kind of have to support to get the videos. And to be fair, I think for a small channel, people do support. But if you haven't supported, perhaps this is a time for you to support. Am I making you feel guilty, or you just feel nothing whatsoever? Like, screw you! I'm not giving you a dime. Like, I understand. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next episode.